How about now, people? Can you hear us now? Thumbs up if you can hear us. I hope so. I need one thumbs up. I need one thumbs up. See, I told y'all this was going to be a weird show today. I told y'all before it started that this was going to be a crazy show today. Okay, all right, we are live. Phelps was the first one to go there. Okay, you know what? I just want to make sure y'all were paying attention online. That's all it was. I just wanted to make sure on there. It's crazy how little technology works. A little click of a button changes it all.
Right.
Well, welcome to After the Whistle. We have got so much stuff to talk about. We got picks I need to talk about, gentlemen, today at some point in time. I got to give my shout out to Lake Worth. We've got games to talk about. We've got some controversy stuff to talk about. Before we get to all that, would you please, we got the Kennedale Wildcats in the house. Please introduce yourself, starting from my right, going all the way around the table. Your name, what team you coach with, and let's get this party rolling.
All right, Coach Joe, Coach 12U defense with the Kennedale Wildcats.
Y'all notice they put Coach Joe to my right because we play the Kennedale Wildcats next week. So I'm going to be kind of peering over at his phone to see if I can see some of their defensive alignments there throughout the show.
I'll show you the whole playbook. They got to line up between them. They got to get between them lines.
Go ahead, Coach.
All right, I'm Coach Chad. I'm the head coach of 9U.
I'm Coach Kell. I'm the 12U head coach of Kennedale.
And once again, they put the 12U head coach over to my left. So I'm beginning to wonder if Donnie and them, Derek, all those guys. I'm beginning to wonder if they set me up a little bit here. I'm feeling a little set up here. You know, we got a big game coming up in a week or so. Obviously, we both got to get past our week, but we'll talk about that as the show goes on. So let me ask you guys a question. So I know most people know where Kennedale is at, but for the folks that don't, like, it's kind of like that Burleson, Mansfield. Where would you do Arlington?
Fort Worth, Mansfield, in between
it's
that.
in between.
Right.
Yeah.
So do y'all feed, and this is something that I've always wanted to know, and I've lived here my whole life. Do y'all feed Mansfield schools, Arlington schools, Fort Worth, or is it just, how does that work?
We have Kennedale kids, we have Mansfield kids, and a few Arlington kids. So
just kind of a mix as far as where they all go.
Right. You're looking at probably a 10-mile radius in 3 different cities.
3 different cities, 10-mile radius.
Right.
Yeah.
And but the population though is actually pretty big for, I mean, because it's kind of right here in the metroplex as far as that goes. It's crazy because I know right off of that 20 area and stuff over there. So roundabout. So I know you guys have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Y'all got 7 tackle football teams, or 6 tackle football teams, 1 flag team, cheerleaders. If you had to guesstimate how many kids, 120? 150 in the organization?
I would say in upwards of 120. When we was having our camps, we was having average of 80 to 100.
80 to 100 in camps.
Yeah.
And that was without the kids. That was without kids that had signed up.
Right.
You know, that came in late.
Gotcha.
Right. Yeah. So we're probably upwards of 120.
Upwards of 120 or so.
2 flag U teams. We got a 5U and a 6U.
Oh, 2 flag, 5U and 6U. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Right.
And you're off to a pretty good start as an organization as a whole this season. So I know both of the teams sitting here are undefeated, the 9U and the 12U. But overall, as an organization, you guys are 9-4. Your 5U's 1-1, 6U's 2-0, 7U's 1-0. I guess they had a bye week 2. 8U's 1-1, 9U's 2-0. 10U's struggling a little bit at 0-2. But then your 12U is 2-0. So let me start with you, Coach, because I know you and I were talking a little bit before the others got here, and this is y'all's first season here.
Right.
But tell me about what type of, because as a 12U coach, I kind of, as a 12U coach in Burleson, I feel like that, you know, it's kind of like that senior in high school when it comes to Pee Wee, right? You know, I feel like it's up to us to establish things like culture and how practices should go. And, you know, I'm fortunate Burleson, there's a lot of long tenure coaches like Andy and Kevin and stuff like that have that already established. But tell me what your stamp is that you're trying to put on the Kennedale organization. What, you know, I don't know if you were planning on dropping back down to coach again or if this is it, but what are you trying to kind of mold there for generations to come?
Yes, the whole thing is when you're coaching 12U, you want to get the kids prepared for junior high. That's the whole thing. And you want to make sure these kids understand everything that we've been teaching them. It's going to take them through high school, through college, through everywhere. We teach basic fundamentals. I'm talking, and we teach on a college level as far as defenses, offenses, because we feel like this. If you can learn these songs on the radio, you can learn these complex defenses.
Okay.
You know, Even at 12 years old, you can learn everything else.
Let me just go ahead and take some notes here.
And we run some complex stuff, but these kids are very intelligent. They pick it up. We got a great group of kids, man.
That's really good. That's really good. And I know you were talking about that kind of where you kind of came from, and you've done not really select teams but rec teams. So I'll ask kind of all three of you guys this: how do you balance the rec? We were talking about just a few moments ago about 6 plays, right? And I told you about a story we had, several years back with my team, and we were playing to go to the Super Bowl, and unfortunately, we had a terrible kickoff that happened. And how do you balance? Because in junior high, like, let's just be honest, and I tell this to our boys all the time, there is no your mom and daddy paid $140 or $200 to play. It's oh, you don't like it, hit the lockers.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And that starts this trend going forward. So how are you guys balancing that in your coaching to where they're getting a realistic taste of a junior high coach? And then, Coach, I ask you, at the 9U level, how are you preparing them to get to guys like this to where it's like, okay, it's not just culture shock when coach is like, okay, cool, go sit down, type situation. How are you guys, how do you balance it? I'll start with you, Coach.
Balancing as far as
playing time, but also getting them prepared for junior high, where, I mean, let's just face it, if they're not a good enough player, they're probably not playing in junior high, or they might be on that C team, or I'm not sure, what teams there are.
We, as far as us, we work every kid the same way in practice. We
good.
Try to get them to that level. When they're not quite there, we have situations where we put them in to get them those plays, so that they could potentially by the end of the year get more than the 6 plays.
I like it.
You know what I mean?
I like it. Coach, what's your philosophy on it?
I'm a backdoor off what Coach Joe just said. It's always been, for 10 years we've been coaching together, it's been our philosophy too. You build your roster from the top to the bottom. It shouldn't be a drop off.
Right.
And that's how we coach from the bottom to the top, because all these kids can play junior high ball and start in high school from our total roster. All 23 kids we have can play junior high ball.
And you were telling me earlier that you feel like there's a couple kids on your team that could be playing on Saturdays or Sundays.
Oh yeah, we got a handful that's gonna probably play on Saturdays and Sundays.
That's awesome. And that's awesome to hear. And so, Coach, let me ask you from the 9U perspective. So my son started in 3rd grade playing tackle football. I believe it's 3rd grade. So we've kind of come through. We missed the flag in 1st, 2nd grade years, but kind of come through. But I will tell you, it's vastly different at the 12U level. I thought last year we were in a league that was grade pure. At the 5th grade level, it was different, but this level's different.
Right.
We'll talk about earlier here in a little bit, but I was going through and looking through the league. Some of the teams that were had great records last year, they're not doing so hot this year, right? They're just not, right? I know, we played the Burleson Raiders this weekend, and I told you that was one of the most physical football games that I have ever been a part of.
Right.
Like, I'm talking hits and from both sides of the ball, right? It was just crazy, and they pulled out a victory, and my hat's off to those guys. But man, when I'm talking physical, I kid you not, I would put both of the Burleson teams up, and I feel like y'all might say this about your team, against any 7th grade football team out there right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's funny you said that, Coach. I was just thinking that a couple of days ago. We've always said that when we've coached a 12U team, we'll play any 7th grade team in Arlington.
Yeah.
Because the guys we had played both for us, right? They would go to school in junior high in 7th grade and wouldn't win a game, and now they can't wait to Saturdays to play.
Yeah.
Because we were undefeated.
Yeah.
They always tell us how different the coaching is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, they don't coach us like y'all do.
Yeah.
It's just different. And like Coach Kell said earlier, we teach them beyond Pee Wee and junior high ball.
Right.
We're teaching them, we're giving them philosophies of, high school, college. We want them to look ahead so that when they get to high school, a lot of our players, we're teaching them 3-4 positions.
Yeah.
You might be one body type now, but once you get to high school, junior high and high school, you may start filling out a different way.
That's right.
Yep.
So we teaching them multiple positions, and they may not like it. At first, like, Coach, I had a kid yesterday. I'm a DN, Coach, and I told him, I said, hey, your body type is not a DN. You will probably be, in that secondary.
Yeah.
So you need to learn this. You know what I mean?
No.
So it's just different, from.
And that's good. The kids are responding to you for
yeah.
that. That shows something. That tells me something about y'all's coaching style, because same type of situation with us is that, we have a lot of kids this year that were underweight that last year were overweight.
Right.
And of course, the first thing I want to run the ball. You're not a running back.
Right.
just because you don't have the sticker on the back of your helmet doesn't mean you're running back. Coach, talk to me about 9U. How are you preparing your guys to get to these higher age levels and to get into that, 10U and 12U and then on to junior high with your group?
We teach them fundamentals and a lot of discipline. Teaching them holes now so they can pick it up now. So by the time they get up to 12U, 7th grade, it'll be a piece of cake for them.
Now, do y'all all run the same offense through the different grade levels, or does every coach get their own? Okay.
Every coach is different.
I like it. No, that's good.
Because it keeps another organization from getting a hold on what we're doing all the way up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's been plenty of times, man, I've been to a 10U game and I go, well, I bet that 12U coach is gonna run that same system.
Yep.
And my memory is like photogenic. So if I see it once, you can't show me twice. I watched that 12U game and I'm like, I cannot believe it's going to show me the same formation I just saw on 10U.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I think there is some philosophy to stuff like that. I know for us this year, for our 12U, we met with our junior high coaches, and so Burleson split with two different schools,
Right.
And we're running a mixture of. So thankfully they run both the same defense,
Right.
and so now they have different variations and different calls out of the defense, but they both run the same defense.
Right.
But I don't mind telling you, man. I'm with you on that. The defenses on the variations is, I have no idea. We got signed out of something right now. The defense variations of stuff. Let me just tell these guys, and I'm sorry that everything is going blank. I'm not sure what just went on. But our defensive variations, we run the I think it's Arizona State's 3-3 stack.
Yeah, 3-3-5 stack.
3-3-5 stack.
Yeah, I know.
And it's one of those things that, like you, I didn't know if the kids would pick it up.
Right.
And they have.
Right.
And it's pretty cool. It's really unique to see because, growing up most of the time in Pee Wee, it was one of those things that it was, hey, line up in your gap and go forward.
Right.
It's go forward. Line up in your gap, go forward. Line up in your gap, go forward. Line up in your gap, go forward.
Right, right.
And this is getting some calls in there and making them think a little bit. And so for me, it's one of those things that I like that. And then on the offensive side of the ball, not to give our stuff away, but we run half of this junior high's offense, the other half of this junior high's offense, right? So what we have on there on both of it is offensively is we're trying to get both kids prepared to go.
Right.
My thing coming out this year, obviously, like you guys, I absolutely want to win. Right. Everybody wants to win. I believe the kids deserve to win because we've all been in pads since July, 15th or whatever the case may be. But the reality of it is I want them to leave our team and go to their prospective junior highs and be able to hear and understand the terminology.
Right. That's what it's all about.
And ready to go, right? To where, and I hate to say this, I want to give them, I don't hate to say it, I want to give our boys a leg up in junior high of other kids that may not have been played, to where when they come in and coach is like, da-da-da-da-da, I know it.
Right. That's what you want.
You know it. And so we've been very inclined with that. And like you, I'll tell you, like this past game of this past weekend, when we left the field, both teams were exhausted and tired. And I said to a couple people, I said, I would put either one of those Burleson teams up against the Burleson junior high.
Right.
I would do it. And I would, I don't know if we win or not, but I guarantee you they ain't coming out whipping us.
Right.
Neither one of them, they're not coming out whipping us. That's for sure. So, guys, let me ask you this, and we got a few minutes before we get into our next segment and stuff like that here. And I apologize for the technical difficulties. And if you guys are online, I can see all the L's. You guys know this is an interactive show, and I know what you're waiting for. You guys are all waiting for Mike's picks. And just by the way, I'm just going to go ahead and throw this in on Mike's picks. I got a lot of flack on that last week. Okay. If you guys are on the Band app, you probably seen it. I got the picks out. And so, briefly what happened last week, there's technical difficulties here and we're kind of doing some stuff at the station, which by the way, guys, there is a GoFundMe, and I'm trying to get the link to go on here for Northwest. What this is for is we are trying to raise money. You've heard me talk about this last week or the week before. There's an all-star game coming up, right? And I think it's awesome what the league is doing for this, and they're trying to make it special. You know, they didn't tell me I couldn't say this, so I'm just going to say it. I know that they've reached out to Arlington, where the Rangers used to play, and Globe Life Field to try to find places, right? I believe they've reached out in Frisco. I know they've reached out to like some major big high schools like Southlake. They are trying hard as a league to make this game as special can be. But we need people's help, right? And so let me tell you guys what we're going to do for all you listen online, and we can share this out. I am a big sports person. I collect sports autographs and cards. I have way too many cards. Way too many cards.
I need to know. You got to give me a drop a name, man. What's the biggest card you have?
So the other night, so I do breaks. The other night I pulled a Jamar Chase 101 autograph that's worth about $15,000.
Really?
Okay.
No.
You say T, not Ty.
Yeah, T.
Ty Law.
No. I'm Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
Trevor
I thought you meant
Lawrence.
Ty Law, the safety for the Patriots.
No.
He's a big time. He's a safety.
Boy,
he's a big time.
This show's taking a turn, man. Yeah.
He said Ty Law. You know, I couldn't wait for a Patriots jab.
We just went from Pee Wee football to pro football like that. Do we want to talk about Dak right now? Most overrated quarterback. Anyway, we'll just go.
I agree.
That's your quarterback.
I'm a Cowboys fan.
Me
but
too.
I've said from the start, I'm a big Romo fan because
Me
Romo
too.
can read defenses.
Yep.
Dak cannot read defenses, and I don't see what a lot of people see in him.
Yeah.
You know, I love him to death, but I mean, I could name 3 or 4 plays from Sunday night where guys were running wide open. Even the interception, somebody's 10 yards behind that pick, waiting for the ball.
You know, it's crazy. I also lifelong Cowboy fan, and I got so much flack for being a Romo lover, and I said a lot of the same stuff you said. In that, you know, I know Romo had some injuries late in his career, but I tell people all the time, I'll show you receivers that Romo made that left the Cowboys, went got paid big money and were nothing else. I can't show you one Dak's made yet.
I'm gonna break it down smaller than that for you. Romo was throwing the ball 45 times a game. That percentage of interceptions is going to go up when you're throwing the ball that many times. If you had a running game where you can only throw it 30 times, guess what? You might not throw 2 picks.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
so at least we're on the same page with that. We'll we could talk Cowboys for a long time here, but we'll move on past that. But anyway, back to what I was talking about with the league.
Right.
So I've got a ton of autographs. I've got a ton of Cowboys autographs. I've got helmets with all the triplets on there. And so what I'm going to do next week, and I think I'm going to run this for 3 weeks. We are going to ask for donations to the league, and I'm going to put up some of my bigger stuff, right?
Okay. That's good.
And then we're going to raffle it. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is take everybody that donates to the GoFundMe, right? And so when you donate, please don't donate anonymous. You're not bragging by the amount that you donate, right? And for every $1 that they donate, I'm gonna give a raffle ticket, and then we're gonna draw it live on the show with whoever's a guest on there, right? So you know, it's probably going to be hopefully it's a huge raffle bucket that we got to draw out of, right?
That's a nice incentive.
It is. And so, and I've got more than football. I mean, I've got, you know, big old Luka autograph jerseys, and I'm a homer. So if y'all don't like homer stuff, I'm sorry.
I am too. I love the Cowboys and Mavs.
But me too. And so I've got, you know, I've got. You're not a Cowboy fan? Man, here's the door. Yeah. So I don't care if they're 0-1, man. We are strong. We're still going to the Super Bowl. What are you talking about? But
y'all gonna say next year already?
No, this year. This year. I ain't giving up yet. Maybe I'm giving it. No, I'm just kidding. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a raffle with it. So I don't know how long I'm gonna make this. I need to get with Jen and Mike Hernandez and stuff like that to find out, when we need to have the money in. But my plea to you guys that are listening online, and hopefully you can hear me, hopefully the internet and all that stuff is up over these next couple of weeks, share it. And it doesn't matter if you're part of the league or not. If somebody donates, their name's going to be put in it. So share it with family and friends and relatives. I mean, I don't care if somebody out in, Alaska donates, right? Whatever you donate $1, you get 1 ticket. You donate $500, you get 500 tickets, right? For every $1 you donate, there's going to be a ticket in there. And I'm going to give something special away. I may even give a choice of options to people from sports cards, because I know some people collect sports cards and some people collect autographed jerseys and some collect basketballs and footballs and helmets and stuff. So what I'll probably do is put something up there. I will tell you it will have a $1,000 value or more, because there's very few things that I have that does not at least have that value to it. So we're not talking about, putting up a Dak Prescott rookie card here. Okay. We're talking about putting up something nice. And like I said, I do a whole lot of breaks and stuff like that. So I'm always getting stuff in, and I pretty much have every major sport. So for you guys that are listening online, just in this few moments, guys, we want this to be special. And one of the things that is my heartbeat is youth football, but it's more for kind of the stuff we've already talked about. Right. Coach, you talked about, and you guys talked about, you got some kids that are going to play on Saturday and Sundays, and you said you've been coaching a while and already have kids that do that. Right. I'm not at that level yet, right? I've only been coaching for a couple of years now, but my hope and dream is that I can make an impact on that level. This Friday night, I've got several boys from the team coming over to my house to stay the night, right? We're going to do pizza and movies and stuff like that, because we have an 8:00 game on Saturday night way out in Red Hook. So, all cameras are banned that game. I don't know if you heard that or not, but all cameras are banned.
Our game is over at 8. I figured I'll make you guys game maybe in the first quarter, begin in the second.
And so, but for me, it's about the kids. And when I heard about this all-star game that the league was doing, I got excited.
Right.
And I don't know where they can pull it off getting played at. I know they're trying to find, but to me, if we can get the money raised, that they've got special uniforms, special game, and it's just a once in a lifetime experience. Because as we all just said, and I haven't had a show yet that hasn't come up that I've said this, for some kids, this is the best they'll ever get. This is it. The best coaching they'll ever get. To what y'all said, they're getting to junior highs. And look, I've been around plenty of junior high coaches that they just want to get to high school. They don't, that's it. They're like, hey, let me just get through this here, and let me suck up to coach. And, coach, what do you need? And they don't care about those kids. They just want to get to that high school level, move their career on. Not all coaches are like that. Some of them are. And so some of our kids is the best coaching and everything that they'll get. So you parents out there, if you're listening, we are just had Carlos just said Elite Speed and Sports Training will sponsor. Carlos, I'll get you in touch with Jen. That is fantastic. I know my company Versus is going to be sponsoring as well. And all you company guys, I'm absolutely positive, Jen, not to put you on the spot, but I'm sure we can get something from the league for tax write-off for that money and donation, because guys, that's going to be huge. And speaking of that, we got a couple minutes left in the segment. Next segment, I hope you guys are going to pick some games with me. We're going to talk about some standings. I got to talk about some stuff, that happened at a couple of games this past week that I picked. And some people, they're going to like it. Some people, they're not going to like it. And that's okay. Good news is that the show goes off in 30 minutes. Not much can be said about it, but I want to ask you guys this as we head into the break about Kennedale, right? Is there anything Kennedale needs? Do y'all need more volunteers? Do you need what? If you can name one thing or a couple of things that would help take Kennedale from where you guys are right here, to even right here. I mean, a half a step is huge in youth sports. I mean, well, y'all might be getting paid. Y'all sound like some pretty good coaches, but it's volunteer. Tell me, Coach, what do you think y'all need?
Could always use more volunteers. It's never enough for them. I think field help too. They practice at one field. I practice at one field. We got 3 different fields we're practicing at. So,
man, that's
when y'all was talking about offense. I don't even know what type of offense he runs.
Well, why don't you tell us, Coach?
I run the Veer from the 70s.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna get the Tom Landry. We're gonna
Utah State from 1969. As far as Kennedale, man, as far as the organization, man, this is a great organization. What Donnie and Coach Derrick has done, man. They have given their heart
They're
and
good
soul.
people.
They're good people, man. They're giving this heart and soul to this organization. We have good coaches, great parents, man. Like these parents support 100%. Our sidelines at practice look like a game, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear the involvement.
I mean, these parents are great. These kids are great, man. These kids are they 100% bought in. And I agree with Chad. If there's one thing we need, we represent the city of Kennedale. We need the city of Kennedale help on a lot of things. And that's it.
I hear that a lot from people. So if you're listening and you got contacts to your city, help us out. Like I know the same thing for Burleson. If the city got behind us a little bit on both of our squads, the Raiders and the Elks, that to me, that's where you build state champions. Right. State champions. I don't think coaches realize. See, my music's coming on. State champions are built in Pee Wee, not in high school. We'll be back after the break.
Hey, Jill, congratulations on your son getting into the college of his dreams and with a full scholarship, too. Yes, we are so proud of him. You know, I have to be honest. I'm a bit worried about our daughter getting into college. It's so competitive out there, and I feel overwhelmed with where to start. I completely understand. Listen, I felt the same way. And then I met Dr. Gina of Education Prep Centers. She put a plan in place that helped our son stand out in the admissions process and that gave us a peace of mind for how to create a financial roadmap for his future. Wow, that's great. Sounds like I need to give her a call. Yes, she definitely helped our son find the perfect college, meet all his deadlines, and help us feel less anxious about the whole process. You need to reach out to her. Just check out educationprepcenters.com and set up a complimentary assessment with Dr. Gina. You'll be so glad you did. Education Prep Centers. College admissions made easy.
Out-of-date carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleveland, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleveland, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they got you covered. When you're hungry for tender brisket or some delicious homemade cobbler, then look no further than Leach Brothers Barbecue, located at 1106 East Henderson in Cleveland, Texas. Leach Brothers has been family-owned and operated since 1950. Take it from me, Taco Joe Orwinski. Todd and his family have been filling my belly breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a long time. Heck, I even have my own booth, open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Come see them for dine-in, carry-out, and all your catering needs.
You're listening to Joco Community Radio.
And don't worry, Coach is just drinking water in here. All right, he's just saluting, drinking water in here, all right? I mean, we're having a good time, but not that good of a time yet. I mean, of course, we are in the happy hour time here. Welcome back to After the Whistle. Man, we've got great guests in here from Kennedale. We're having a lot of good football talk. Even for the first time in the show, I've gotten into NFL talk a little bit, and super excited about that. Real quick, gentlemen, I'm going to take care of a little bit of house cleaning business, and we're going to jump right back into football. But Joco Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and on the Live 365 TuneIn Radio Network. To listen or watch, simply go to tuneinjoco.com to choose where and how. The Joco Community Radio app is now available for free on your Android and Apple devices. All you need to do is simply search Joco in the store. Check out our lineup and more on the JocoCommunityRadio.com. This episode and more is brought to you by Patriot Claims, making your insurance work hard for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep, Nona Reed, at 844-TEXT-TAIL. That's 844-839-4245. And also by Versus Uniforms. If you need uniforms or any sports apparel, please reach out to us at 817-308-6064. Now that is out of the way, all right, all you chat folks, here's your time. All right, we're going to go jumping right into picks because I don't know that 30 minutes is long enough. Okay, we've got so some of you guys have told y'all to remind me about some stuff from week one because it's been a couple weeks. I am just going to go ahead and throw out that Mike's locks were 5-2 last week. Of all the mess that I got online from folks about how my picks are terrible, I was 5-2 last week. The week before I was 9-2. Picked a few more games the week before. So total I am 15-4 on the season for my picks. picks. Now that's not bad.
That's a good record.
That's a good record.
That's a good record.
Out of 19 games, that's a good record. That's a good record.
I got a good question though.
Go, ask, please. Let's go.
Out of those 15, did you pick our 12U for any game?
No,
second week.
I didn't pick your 12U first or second week, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I knew the teams you guys were playing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They came from league we played with.
Right.
And I honestly, with Kennedale, I wasn't exactly sure what your 12U was going to be yet. Now I know.
Right.
Okay.
And as we talked about, I was going to pick your game this week, and I'll pick it right now. Y'all going to shut the scoreboard off at halftime. I'm sorry for the rest of you guys that are listening. Who y'all got this week? Who y'all playing this week?
We play
Saginaw.
Saginaw, I love you. Okay. I've played that Saginaw team already. Okay. And they got a couple good little athletes over there.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all going to shut it off at halftime.
Okay.
If you don't shut it off at halftime, something has happened. Jesus may have came back. Okay. I'm not sure. All right. And now we keep it real here on After the Whistle, folks. All right. So we keep it real here, but that's my prediction for your score.
Okay.
Now, next week, you just have to tune in the show next week because talk about that a little bit. But
might have to come back next
who may have to come back
We
next
gotta
week. we have to have now. We already got people starting on here. So Nathan said Granbury 12U did what to Saginaw? Listen, coming over this year, obviously as a new coach, 12U, I'm like, hey, let me take a look. And we got picks all 4 outside of 12U, so we're going to talk about every age division. But since Nathan brought this up a little bit about 12U, man, that Saginaw Bardens team, I was told these guys are legit.
Right.
Now, I have been told through the grapevine, and you know how grapevine works, right? One person says this apple is red, and by the time he gets to the end of this line, it's purple, okay? But through the grapevine, I've been told that they did have some players out, right? Don't know if that's true or not. I'm just going off of what I was told. But Granbury shut the scoreboard off on those folks.
Right.
Now, I said at the beginning of the year in 12U, and I will plainly state this here, I think there are a couple of teams that are at the top of that, and Granbury is one of those guys.
Right.
I know that Granbury team very well.
They are.
I know the coaches. They are a very good coach squad with a lot of talent, a lot of athletes, and they are not afraid to hit you in the mouth.
Right.
I will say this, after playing the Burleson Raiders this weekend in 12U, mad respect. That team is coming to hit you in the mouth.
Right.
I believe our Elk team is coming to hit you in the mouth.
Right.
And so I think 12U is going to be real fun these next 3 or 4 weeks.
I do too, man.
It's really going to be a lot of fun.
It's exciting just
what we
thinking
look
about
for.
it, man.
Yeah,
It is, man.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And you're right. Thank you, Nathan. I did call it about Granbury. See, at least I got one person giving me props here. Okay. Now, something else I got to address. I was called out all online about how I don't like the Raiders and I never picked the Raiders to win. First off, I was a Raider, in Burleson.
Right.
I was right 2 out of the 3 games. And I definitely ain't picking ever against my own team because I believe we can win every game. And so there is a game we'll talk about here. And there was some controversy in the 8U game, and we're going to tell it exactly how it is here in a few minutes. But let me go through what I had for my picks for last week. We'll start with 5U. I picked Waxahachie to win, and they played Kennedale.
Right.
They won 30-12. Right. I don't remember exactly what my scores were. And for those of you guys I had someone from Lake Worth. I picked the Lake Worth game, which was 10U for Lake Worth to win. I picked it to be a close game. I think I said 24-22, and they won like 44-14. I don't know the scores just yet because I'm just starting to get them, but you guys are about to hear me how I do my scores, okay? You're going to hear me how I do my scores now based off of some of the data that's come in. Game I missed last week. Hat off to you, Red Oak. I said our way will win that game in 6U. Red Oak shut them out 19-0. Game that I got right, but was a little closer than I thought was the RYA and the Burleson 7U game. That game was 8-6.
That's a good game.
Okay.
Great game.
Great game. I did call RYA to win that game. I thought they win it by a little bit more, but that sounds like that was a slugfest last week, right? I mean, that's so congratulations to RYA on there for their win out there. The 8U game, I picked the Burleson Elks to beat the Burleson Raiders in that game. The Elks did win that game 16-14. I watched this game in person.
Another dogfight.
Let me tell you how this game went down. There was a controversy, and I will flat out call it out, even though I am from the Burleson Elks. So the Raiders led that game pretty much throughout.
Okay.
till about the last minute and a half of the game.
Right.
The coach of the Elks, they needed a drive to win. I believe, and someone could correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say the score was 14-8 that the Raiders were winning.
Okay.
And it was a good defensive game. Both teams were well coached. That Raiders team, that 8U team, man, they've got some. They're very well coached. We'll talk about them because I actually am picking their game again this week. They're a good team.
Right.
The Elks got the ball back with, I want to say, around a minute left. I'm sure online will correct me if I'm wrong. And the coach did make a change. He put a different running back in that he hasn't had all week long.
Right.
And this kid was pretty good. I mean, he was good, right? But there was a play, if I remember correctly, there was around 34 seconds left in the game. Toss play, 20-yard game. The clock operator did not start the clock.
Wow.
Big no-no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
Going to flat out say it, right? Raiders have every right to complain about that.
Right.
Now, the refs, kid got tackled out of bounds. The refs were notified by the head coach. Great head coaching on there, talking about, hey, like, listen, this didn't happen. They went in return, took 6 seconds off the clock. So they did adjust the clock down.
Right.
Okay.
Now, do we believe 6 seconds was enough or not? That's not for me to debate.
Right.
That's what the officials made the call off.
That's
of.
what they came up with.
Okay, they came up with 6 seconds. 20-yard run. Okay.
I would think you would just. I mean, it's a mistake. You got to replay that down.
Okay, Doug's correcting me. He's saying 20 seconds left. So, but when I seen it, I thought they had 24 seconds left. But I do know that they took 6 seconds off on there. Subsequently, the Elks score, I think 1 or 2 plays after that, ball game is tied.
Right.
Then the snap on the 2-point conversion is fumbled, picked up by the quarterback, comes around the end. He's one-on-one with the corner.
Okay.
Lowers his shoulder. Great, just good tackle football play.
Right.
Corner did his job.
Right.
Quarterback did his job. He falls in the end zone. From where I seen it, I seen conversion good. The ref standing here throws his hands up. The other ref comes over. They have about a 3 or 4 second conversation. They decide to call the 2-point conversion good. And at this point, there's 8 seconds or so left on the clock,
right?
You know, after the score and everything. And of course, now everybody's going crazy, right? Because I will say, to the Raiders' credit, they had that game in control.
Right.
They had it in control. That Burleson team had fumbled multiple times. That Raiders defense was doing well. And if you would have asked me with 2 minutes to go who's winning the game, I would have bet my house on it.
Right.
The Raiders were winning that game.
Right.
But that's football, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Anything.
And so the Burleson head coach, Coach Whitehead, makes a very smart decision. And I will tell you, I coached with Coach Whitehead in 2019 when I was telling you guys about the play that we kicked off the Granbury and they returned it for a touchdown.
Yeah, right.
He did not do that this time. He tapped the ball and fell on it. So there was no kickoff. And then I believe the Raiders had 1 play from scrimmage and they didn't score. And that was the ball game. The parent controversy and drama, we'll leave aside from there. It was a game, y'all.
Yeah.
And honestly, if I wasn't part of that 12U game a little bit later, I would have called it the game of the day.
Right.
Because it was such a good football game to watch.
Right.
And once again, these are 2 Burleson towns, and my hat's off to Coach Doug and to Coach Whitehead on there. And but look, there was controversy. Okay. I do think that this is something that going forward that needs to be talked about in the league. Like, you know, what is the standard time? Do we equate time to yardage? I don't know how that works, because if I'm on the Raiders side, I get where they're coming from.
Right.
Okay. But if I'm on the Elks side, I get where they're coming from. You know, coach wasn't in control of the clock, right? This was a high emotion game, city game, but a great game played by both. But I have to say, I mean, if we were in Vegas, my pick was right.
Yeah, you're right. You know, and to that play, man, to be honest, in football, that play never happened if the clock didn't start. So you have to replay first down.
Yeah. And so it's you know, one of those type of things. And then of course the next game was the 10U game. That's the game I talked about. I picked Lake Worth to win that over Red Oak. It's a close game. I was getting pictures from folks online at, I believe it was the 3rd quarter or maybe it's halftime, that it was 44-14 or something like that. The scoreboard was turned off. And so, hey, Lake Worth, hats off to you. I got that pick right, but the score was wrong. So, and we don't do point spreads here. This is youth football.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Then the 12U game I got wrong. I actually picked it to be a high scoring game. I knew the game would be close because the boys go to school together.
Right.
I picked the game to be 36-34 Burleson Elks. The game was 8-0 for the Raiders. And when I tell you that game was played between the 50 and the 20,
that's a dog fight.
It was between the 50 and the 20.
That's a dog fight.
It was between the 50 and the 20. And they had one play. The running back broke a tackle of ours, and as soon as he got free up the sideline, went in and scored. They got the 2-point conversion. Outside of that one play, the entire game was played, I believe, between the 50 and 20. I don't know any time that either team got past the 20, maybe 15-yard line, but maybe once in the entire game. And what was great is that, I know a lot of these kids, and, just because my son plays on the team and they go to school together. And I asked him, I was like, how's it been at school this week? Stuff like that, trash talking. He goes, not really. Everybody's kind of like, hey, how's it going? And that tells me that both teams know.
Right.
Both teams know they were in a dogfight. And I want to tell you right now, when those boys Burleson get together at junior high,
there's going to be something.
Look out.
Something special.
Look out. They got, Hunter Lee, great quarterback over at the Raiders, big, strong, fast kid, makes really good decisions. I forget the running back's number 26 name. Then on the Elks team, we have Peanut at linebacker, Bryce Lawler at linebacker. My son played linebacker, Markel and Kelton, at corners. I mean, it was crazy, right? I mean, it was one of the funnest games that I've been a part of. And, of course, I absolutely hated to lose. But you know what? That's the way football works. And I hope and I think we will see them again in the future in the playoffs. But I'll just tell both of you guys, coaches, that's a team to deal with. That's it. That's a good team. So with that being said, let me go over division standings, and we're going to pick some games. Well, let's go through the games first, because I don't want to run out of time, and we'll hit standings on that. So I'm going to start with 5U this week. And our 5U game of the week that I have is Red Oak Mills versus Midlow. I want to say it's Garrick. They're both 1-1. So here's how I pick my games, guys. The games that I pick, I look at points for versus points against. I believe in defense. No offense, coach. I believe in defense. Right? So here's what I got. So the points for Red Oak Mills is 46 versus points against is 45. They're about a dead even. I mean, dead even.
That's how you pick. That's how you pick them.
But Midlothian points for is 36, but they're giving up 55 points in the season. So because of that, I'm picking Red Oak Mills to win this game 22-18 because defense wins games and championships. And right now, Midlothian is giving up more points. I believe that Red Oak Mills is going to take that game.
I do too.
The next game I have is Kennedale Kelly, 6U versus Ferris King. Now, these two teams are undefeated. Definitely a good match for game of the week in 6U. Here's your points for Kennedale Kelly. 49 points for, only 12 points against. I mean, that's solid defense.
And I'm gonna give you a little inside tip. Coach Derek, these kids love him to death and they play for him. And that's a dangerous combination, man.
That's
that level.
That is. Now, let's talk about Ferris King though. 31 points for, 0 points against.
Okay.
Football's about matchups. Give me Kennedale.
All day.
Football's about matchups, man. By coaching and matchups, give me Kennedale.
Because they have some good coaches up there. Some great coaches.
I believe you guys, but I have to go with the way I pick games, and I'm picking Ferris 19-16. Now, you all can see it. I think this is going to be a wildly close game. It could come down to a turnover. It could. It could very easily come down to a turnover. All right, jumping into 7U, we've got Burleson Dixon versus Burleson Ross. Two matchup of Burleson teams. Points for Burleson Dixon is 86. Points against is 30. Points for Burleson Ross is 20. Points against is 14.
Interesting.
So they play defense. And this is tackle, so it feels like it's kind of grinded out. Who's that? Mr. Johnson, DeMondre Johnson says Kennedale Wildcats 8U will beat Ennis 24-12. Your prediction is now live online, sir. Okay, it is live online. So if it's live online, we can go back and see it. Derek Kelly says 6U is coming, and I believe you, Coach Kelly. I think it's gonna be a good game. But so back to this game. So here's the one that 86 points scored by a team in 2 games.
Okay, this thing, you don't know who they played.
True, that's true.
And 86 could be very, very,
Deceiving.
very false deceiving, man.
Very deceiving.
I mean, I look at it like this other team could have played. They scored 14 points, right?
14.
They could have played 2 dog teams.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
That could, I mean, I don't know, man. That 86 can be deceiving, man.
So I looked at some of the teams they've played. I've got this game as a blowout. I think it's 32-6.
Really?
I do. I've looked at what both teams played. I believe while the Burleson Ross team plays really good defense and they are grinded out team, this Dixon team has been together for a little bit. I think they're going to take care of business.
I do too, but I think I'm looking
a little closer.
Yeah, I'm taking a 5-point difference.
The next
you got a
game,
blowout.
The next game, and we got Tristan says Burleson Ross, and then Dylan Clark says Elks 7U by 20. The next game, I'm going back to another Burleson team versus Saginaw. It's the 8U Burleson Raider team, Coach Doug, and they're playing Saginaw. Now, this Burleson team is 1-1 after last week. They have 28 points scored and only 16 points against, while Saginaw has 44 points scored versus 12 points against. This is my upset alert.
No, don't say it. Don't say it, Coach.
It's my upset alert. The 8U Raiders are going to take this game.
Really? I'm going to take Saginaw.
Listen, before you take Saginaw, I'm going to tell you why. I watched that 8U Raiders play. And that last touchdown they gave up, honestly, that team is my gut feeling tells me I watched that team play. They hit you hard. They run hard. They play good defense. I've looked at who Saginaw's played, and not that Saginaw's played anybody that's super weak.
Right.
I don't think Saginaw knows what's coming. Now, I got it close.
Right.
I got it close. I got it 16-14. The 8U Raiders are going to win. And this is my upset pick for this week. This is my upset alert. I was going to pick y'all's game as an upset, but, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Hey, man, it's football, man. Look here, man. We don't look past anybody.
No,
that's look past anybody.
That's good. But this is my upset alert here. This is my upset alert. So when I pick my games for games of the week, I try to get teams that are either undefeated or the same record and stuff like that. As the season goes on, we will filter in some of the teams with the low records that are playing each other. But first couple of weeks, I like to get these teams with 2-0, 1-1 versus 2-0.
Right.
Because I believe these first 3 or 4 weeks where that league's going to kind of shake itself out and get ready, set up for the playoffs. Right. It's a fill out period. So that's my upset alert this week. And so I feel like that they're good. We've got several people comment. Ennis 8U as well coached them. I got Ennis 22-16. That's for 8U. So that's I'm not sure who Ennis is playing, but you're on there. The Saginaw Horned Frogs are 3-time Super Bowl champs. I guess that's who I just picked against was the Super Bowl champs. You know what? I get it. 3-time Super Bowl champs. Patriots were too at one point in time, and they lost too. So were the Cowboys. So
I was gonna bring it up, but go ahead.
That's nothing against that Saginaw team. They are a good team, and I think they're going to be around. All right, Coach, going to your division 9U.
You got to pick my game too.
We're going to pick your game. Your game will be the second one we pick. The first one I got is 1-1 Red Oak, and I hope I pronounce this Piera versus Granbury. Point score for Red Oaks, 36. Points given up is 60. Point score for Granbury is 37. Points given up is 26.
That's very simple. Yeah.
I got Granbury winning this 22-12.
I got Granbury winning.
Yeah.
We played them our first game.
Yeah. So tell us about the good team. I mean, I hadn't seen them, right? I'm just going off of what they've given up. So how many points they give up to you? So outside of your game, they've only given up 6 points.
Something like that.
Okay, so they've only given up because they've only given up 26. So, okay, so there you go. So, Coach, who do you guys got this week?
Lake Worth.
The Bullfrogs. All right, all you Bullfrogs, here we go. Come on, let me hear. I get messages from them all the time on here. Predictions. Let's go.
Kennedale.
We're going with Kennedale. I'm not.
I need scores, fellas. I need scores.
34-16.
Woo!
I've actually seen our 9U in practice.
Okay.
So I think I'm probably going to go 26-6.
26-6. I won't make you make a prediction because you're coaching in the game. But
I'm
you
going,
can if you want to.
The reason why I'm going 26-6 is because I know I've
seen them boys.
I've seen them, but I mean, I know our coach is. Yep. He's gonna get everybody playing time.
They're ready to go.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Most teams will try to play, the starters, you know what I'm saying?
The 8U game, we got Dylan Clark says Granbury by 30. Carlos Cody says Lake Worth 9U for the win. Kennedale, Dylan Clark says Kennedale wins the 9U game by 30. Carlos Cody says we own Kennedale 10U, so I guess he's talking about 10U as well. I mean, Lake Worth owns everybody, right? Just mark it down.
Oh, man.
Here's my prediction for your game. I love you, Lake Worth. That scoreboard will be off by halftime.
So he said by 30. That's another by 30.
I believe y'all's 9U and 12U is going to take care of business this week. I believe so. Now, Lake Worth, please, Saturday afternoon, send me them pictures, okay? Because I know you will, because I got it. But the reality of it is that I just feel like you guys are going to do what you need to do at 9U. Right. You're a good team. Yeah, you guys are a really good team for sure. And I won't make you give up your offensive game plan here, but
the beer.
Wing
same thing. Well, you run. Yeah. Same thing.
Wing
same
tea,
offense.
Beer,
Wing T veer.
Yeah.
I like it. We got comments. And guys, if you got comments, we got a few minutes left. If you guys want to put your predictions out there, just remember it's online and not only erase anything. So make sure you stand behind it. Okay. Here is my ultimate game of the week. It is in 10U. Okay. It is the 2-0 Burleson Elks Barrett team versus the 2-0 Waxahachie Collins team. Y'all ready for this? Mm-hmm. The Elks have scored 70 points, given up 8. Waxahachie scored 70 points and given up 12.
That's going to be a tight game.
Yeah. But again, who have they played? Both teams.
So the two teams that the Elks played, I went back and looked at this and looked at Waxahachie. I'm just going to tell you on my score, and everybody will be like, oh, the Elks, you like the Elks because you're a Burleson guy. Yes, I'm a Burleson guy, but I've watched this team play. My son was a part of this team until the ages split. This is a good group of boys. This game will be over by halftime.
You think so? I got a 13-12 game.
Close. It's going to be
close.
Coach.
13-12 game.
It's going to be close.
Look at the points allowed and points.
It's going to be close.
I got a 13-12 game. It can go either way.
Earlier you were a homer.
I'm a homer.
You're a homer.
Come on now.
I'm a homer. Fellas, I'm gonna give y'all my number. And on Sunday, when scores are posted, y'all can just text me and say, "Go Cowboys," and that's gonna tell me all I need. That's all that I'm gonna need to know.
You won't get that
13-12 game. It can go either way.
No. Guys, so the team that the Elks they played RYA. They shut the scoreboard off on them. RYA turned around and beat another team that this Waxahachie team, I believe, played 40. They didn't beat them 46, but they played another team that Waxahachie played that was a little bit closer, and RYA beat that team 40-6. Let me tell you something about this 10U team, and I know I'm putting some pressure on them, but they can handle it. This team's good.
Okay.
This team has played in King of Texas tournaments.
Yeah.
They're a rec team.
Yeah.
But their quarterback, Kobe,
love King of Texas tournament.
They got a really great offensive lineman, Brecken, just fantastic. Colt Urban, his son, plays on that team. That's a good team,
right?
And I'm not trying to take nothing away from Waxahachie at all. I know that's going to be a good team. This game's over by halftime,
right?
And if not, I will be the first. That will be the first thing you guys can hear it right here. That'll be the first thing that I say next Wednesday. Okay, I was wrong. If it's not over by halftime. If that game is close, y'all will hear me say it. I'll stop the music. I'll stop the music, and I'll say
13-12. I'm calling it now.
I was wrong. So Coach called 13-12. I got 30-0. Last game, we've got Saginaw Barnes versus Ennis. Both are 1-1. Barnes has only scored 14 points and given up 42. Ennis has scored 54 and given up 52. I think Barnes rights the ship here.
Hold on.
I do too.
Ennis has scored 54 points and given up 52 for the season. Saginaw's only scored 14, but given up 42. And part of that is they got blown out by Granbury last week.
Right.
30 of that was Granbury. I'm going to I am going to say that Saginaw Barnes rights the ship this week in 12U, and they get the victory 22-18.
Yeah.
That's my call.
Right, mine too.
Fellas, I told y'all we're going to run out of time in the second segment.
Yeah.
Listen, put your scores on there, people. When you're watching, put your scores on there. I want to see it. And y'all go ahead and hold me accountable because I'm going to have a good Saturday either way because it's Pee Wee football time. Thank you, guys.
Coach Newt, Coach Juice, we're holding you down, man.
Thank you guys for joining us. Y'all have a good day.
Appreciate you for having us.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County, Joco Community Radio.